Welcome viewers, this is your Emory Henry Report Sports Interview. I'm Daron Vaught, and joining me today is head women's basketball coach Stephen Kenner. Coach Kenner, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it's actually very exciting. I'm very excited. You're always one of our favorite guests here in the MassCom department, at least one of mine anyways. So basketball season's right around the corner. You're getting your girls ready. How's that going?
It's going pretty good. It's going really great, actually. This year we have 8 new freshmen, and we have 6 returners. Energy is fantastic. We got a couple of injuries here and there, little hip flexor injuries, but we're ready to rock and roll, and we feel really good about this season. I'm really upbeat. I can sleep a little better at night. I'm not pulling out my hair anymore, so, you know, everything's pretty good. Yeah. So
you mentioned you have 8 freshmen, 8 new girls, completely new to college basketball. How specifically toward them do you prepare them for this season that they're about to take on?
That's a tough question. You know, we try to take things day by day. You know, we keep preaching, just get 1% better each and every day. We would like to, as a coaching staff, we're spoon feeding them. All right, that was a little tough to say.
Right.
But we try to take it very small steps, not to rush them. Once again, they have no idea of what college athletics is about, and or what they're about to get into. The game of the speed in the ODAC, it's a lot different from high school.
Right.
And so, you know, you don't want to rush them in and give them too much. You want to try to keep it simple for them. And I think we're doing okay. We're moving slow, but we're going to be fine. It's a long season, and we want to keep them fresh as possible and try to keep them out of the hospital crew, as we call them.
Right.
So,
you mentioned keeping it simple, and I know sometimes with freshmen, you know, they're coming out of their senior year in high school, whereas, you know, if they're truly really good players in high school, they're given a lot of freedom to kind of create their own plays and stuff like that. As far as now, they're starting over, and you're having to teach simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. How tough is that sometimes?
It can get frustrating at times because you can see the potential there, and you can see how much they are really into it and become better. But we have to start with the fundamentals all over again. Some of them have not been taught the proper way in high school, and some of them don't understand our style of play. So we have to really keep it basic. And, you know, with this year, we don't have a whole lot of height in the post, which I love coaching post players, and I kind of slapped myself on the wrist for that one because we lost a lot of good tall players right towards the end. But we got a lot of guards that's got a lot of good speed, a lot of good talent. Basketball IQ is a lot better. So we're going to be okay, but once again, we just want to take it slow and have our upperclassmen really work with the freshmen and kind of bring them in.
So with the absence of size, I know I mentioned it to you. I've mentioned it to you earlier in you know, our conversations. With the absence of size, how strategically do you go about filling those post player positions, and who on your team is really gonna control those?
Well, we're gonna ask a lot out of Courtney Brooks. You know, she's our senior, but we also have a really good freshman, Jo Beth Wright, who's out of North Carolina, who's going to be playing a lot of the post area.
Right.
And we're also going to spread the floor a lot more with a lot more perimeter shooters. We have Ashlyn, who's a junior this year. She's going to be playing the post also, but we're going to, once again, spread it out, play more of a 4-out, 1-in, but with the same concepts and terminology we used last year with our system. But we try to give them a little bit more freedom to come this year. We're going to be up-tempo, trapping everywhere. Hopefully we can force about 20 to 30 turnovers a game. And I don't know, who knows? We may get the points up into the mid-hundreds.
So it's pretty safe to say that you guys are a little more athletic this season?
We are a little bit more athletic. I think they understand that we don't have the height, and they are going to work extremely hard at getting out and pressing people and trying to force turnovers.
Now, you mentioned senior Courtney Brooks. You also have one other senior, and Christina Howard, who I imagine will play a pretty big part in that find the open 3 game.
There you go.
Just speaking to that, not a very experienced team, and the fact that with the 8 freshmen, I think Faith Walker was is the most experienced from last season. I think she averaged right around 15 minutes per game, and other than that, everybody's right around the 10 or 12 range, if not lower.
Right.
Are they? Do you see some nerves maybe, or do you expect those to show themselves come game time?
Not really. I think we're dependent on Faith. Faith is going to be our starting point guard, and with that, she has a lot of leadership roles as being a team captain. Her and Ashlyn and Christina Howard are our team captains this year, and they've done a tremendous job out of the season working with the freshmen. Christina is our leading three-point scorer from last year, so she's coming in, and we're going to spot her up in the corners, on the wings, let her do what she does best, which is knock down shots. And but at the same time, the premise of our program is to take open shots, and our girls know that. They want to believe in each other, make good passes, and just try to get out and just outwork people. I mean, we don't have the height like everybody else does in the ODAC, so we're going to have to be able to outwork them defensively and hopefully push the ball in transition, try to get some easy stuff instead of have to working too hard on both ends of the floor. So,
with that in mind, do you see yourself doing a lot more conditioning in practice, a lot more running?
You know what? The freshmen had no idea about our conditioning. They knew a little bit. They knew that it was going to be tough. We always tell them in our recruiting process that, hey, look, we do a lot of running. You know, they thought they would be ready for it,
Right.
but they had no idea. And the upperclassmen just laughed about it and told them, hey, look, we told you guys you're going to have to work, you know, because we do a lot of running, and that's our style of play.
You're a coach who puts a lot of stress on the term student athlete as opposed to being an athletic student, or however you want to word it. Why is that?
Well, one is because they are representing this college, you know, and they're here to get an education first, and it's our goal to prepare them in 4 years for the next 40 years. And I'm a firm believer that I'm not just a basketball coach, but I am a teacher, and that's part of my philosophy, that I have to be able to reach out to my girls and make sure they understand that, hey, look, the world outside of here is going to be tough, and so we have to work extremely hard in the classroom and on campus to become more well-rounded. And it's not just you being an athlete. So, and they pretty much bought into that. And, you know, Brittany Tate, my assistant, she does a really good job making sure that the girls understand that, hey, look, your academics do come first. And because nobody here is on scholarship, all right? And we want to make sure that your academics comes first. You know that, because it's your job to go out and prove to people that Emory Henry is a really good place to be here, and it's going to help you get a good job.
It certainly is. We want as many people pushing that idea as possible. Well, Coach, we want to thank you for joining us here today. All
right. Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. Next up, we've got the community calendar, followed by Zach Hupp, not Mark Robertson, at the sports desk.